Have you lost your joy? Have you lost your ability to find joy in the smallest things throughout your day, every day? Have you lost the ability to smile, to have comfort inside your heart? Middle-aged ladies, I'm talking to you directly because I am one of you, and I have lived this life and I have walked that walk. Hi, I'm Leanne and welcome to my channel. I Say This With Love 33. Today I want to talk about the loss of joy in our life, and with the loss of joy also comes the loss of peace, the loss of contentment, the loss of who we were before we got to the specific point in our life and we don't even know how we got there probably. Today, I want to tell you how I found my joy again. And it took me a minute to get there, but it is possible. There is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So I would like to start by sharing my story with you that I lived, and it brought me to the awareness that I am the creator of my life. And I do say this with love, and I want to say it to you. You are the creator of your life. You have the option to bring joy back to your life if you choose to do so. Now, it might take a little bit of work. It's not going to be easy. For me, it wasn't easy. I started finding my joy probably about 2.5, 3 years ago, a little bit into my journey of healing. And as you might know, if you've watched some of my other videos, I had an awakening. I went through a period of time where I was learning who I was and learning how to like myself, love myself unconditionally. I got divorced, I moved, I am living in my own space, and I'm at a beautiful, blissful peace space, and I'm going to be here for the rest of my life because that's what I choose. But here I am in a beautiful state of joy and contentment and bliss and peace and love. And all of those things that I just said are for myself. And if you have joy and peace and love for yourself, then you're going to be able to exude it outwardly. So years ago, in the midst of my busy, chaotic life, raising kids, being married, having businesses, working, houses, all the things in life that just grab you by the balls and take you down, and you're just getting through each day as you may. Being a parent takes a lot, and it's a lot of energy and a lot of time. And when you're in it, you're in it. And you don't realize when things start to deteriorate, or at least I didn't, because I was kind of robotic. I was numb and just robotic and going throughout my day, living my life through my kids, through my ex-husband, through all the external sources outside of me, because unknowingly, I had a lot to heal on the inside. And I didn't know this 4 years ago until I started my journey of healing, and through my practice of yoga, which I was brand new to, through my practice of breath work and meditation and inner child and generational trauma, all the things that I'll give more clarity about in just a minute. But I got to a space where I didn't have joy. I didn't have any joy at all within me. I didn't even know what end was up. I was not happy in my marriage. I was not happy with the way all of a sudden, after almost 40 years of being with my ex, that I allowed him to talk to me, that I allowed things to take place, that I allowed toxic situations and abusive behaviors to take place towards me. Now, back then, I felt I was the victim and an innocent bystander in all of it. And now I know that is not the truth. And I say this with love, but we co-create our situations, and that goes very deep, and that's a whole other video of something that I will talk about. But my joy was gone. I wasn't happy within myself. I didn't like the way that I felt. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way that my life was taking place, because that wasn't my expectation. I didn't have the expectation that as your children get old and they're ready to fly out of the nest and go to college and start their own lives, which I was completely for and ready for and excited and there to support them. But I didn't realize the emptiness that I would feel inside because I had given all my identity to them, through them, for them. They were my whole life, and they still are. But now I have me, who I put first, and my own life before my children and my grandchildren. And that was a big lesson to learn. So I would sit on the couch and just not be happy. I didn't have any joy. Like literally the only thing that brought me joy was sitting my butt on the couch and eating chocolate, eating some Reese's peanut butter cups, maybe some chips, maybe watching some show just on TV, just like this. Just completely zoned out, empty, hollow, just like checked out. Unless one of my kids would come in the room, and then I'd be like, hi, how are you? What can I do for you? What can I make you? Can I iron your clothes? Can I buy you something? Can I help you with your homework? Do you need me to drive you anywhere? And then I would come back to life. So my joy completely left my body, my heart, my soul a little bit later on in life when things started to take place, and I wasn't feeling content the way I didn't have boundaries. I wasn't feeling joy in my daily life. I lost all my joy with work and my ex-husband and being in his presence. Like I was gone. I was shot. I eventually forced myself to get off the couch and go outside and go for a walk, and then go to the park and walk. And then eventually I joined this fit camp that was being held in the park. Like, what is that synchronicity? That was beautiful. And I began to find joy in exercise and getting the endorphins flowing and changing of the hormones and the cortisol and all the things that take place when you're living like in fight or flight for 40 years, like not even 40 years for a lot of us. For me, it was 40 years. I lived in fight or flight. Actually, it's probably my whole 54 years of life. Before I even met my ex-husband, I lived in fight or flight because of life circumstances and the way I was raised and family dynamics and all the traumas and abuses, which you all are. And that's why I'm here on YouTube putting my videos out and making my story available to you, because as humans on this earth, we are all on our own path and we are all on our own journey, but they're very similar. They might have different stories and different contexts and different outcomes, but they're all the same, and we're all here dealing with lessons and traumas. And I want to let you know, if you feel like you've been dealt a really shitty hand of cards throughout your life, and you feel sorry for yourself, and you feel like you're a loser, and there's just no hope, and you can't do anything right, and God hates you, and why are you even here? Let me tell you, stop and take a breath. You are here for a reason. Just you being born onto this earth, you are here for a reason, and you are dynamic, and you are a beautiful soul here in this world. And we aren't here to not have joy, but if we have lost it through traumas, through difficulties, through challenges, through horrific things that have been said to us, have happened to us, there's hope. You can turn that around if you choose to find joy. I started to, like I had mentioned, join my fit camp, get some exercise, get movement, go outside in nature. I started to try to see the bright side of things, and I have always been like look at the glass half full type of person, but I got to a really low place in my world, within my marriage, within myself, within my home, within everything about me, that I like the motto of my life became, I don't fucking care. Like, and excuse my French, but I got to this space where that was my phrase in life. I don't fucking care. And so not only did this come at a time where I lost my joy, or I finally admitted I didn't have joy. My kids were at the age where they were going to start fleeing the nest. I was hormonally imbalanced because I was in perimenopause, and I had no clue. I had no awareness of perimenopause. It wasn't talked about in my family. Nobody in my realm, my circle of friends, everything like really talked about that. It was just like, oh, this lady's getting close to middle age and she's lost her mind. And now that I look back and I can see my friends that I used to play games with and like had interactions with, just acquaintances and good friends. And I was always the youngest one within all the groups of my friends, but I now can see that as ladies age and their hormones become imbalanced and life is taking place, and we're getting to the stage where if we are an empath or we're over giving and over pleasing and a over dependent person, a codependent, we start to shut down. Our body screams at us. Our soul, our heart has been screaming to us and talking to us for years. Mine did. I could see all my friends did. And then they got to a space where they started to go have affairs and they started to like take off and away from their families. And they would go through these crazy things. And I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with my friends? Like, these people have no clue like what end is up anymore. They've gone mentally mad. I would never do that. I would sit there and judge, like, I would never do that. I would never divorce my husband. I would never do that. And then I got to that age where I started feeling the feelings of like, fuck this, and what is that, and don't talk to me that way. But I wouldn't say that out loud. I would just feel it, but I was unable to vocalize it out of fear. And so I have learned that you never say never, because karma is karma and it's real. But in all seriousness, if you have lost your joy and you find that it's not there anymore, the little things in life don't bring you joy, I offer you love and compassion, and I understand. I was there. And what worked for me was getting out and taking walks, putting your feet out in nature, taking off your shoes, walk in the grass, walk in the sand, walk in the dirt barefoot. Get out and get fresh air. Look up at the sky, go around the trees and the flowers, and take time to find gratitude in all things that God, source, universe, whatever your belief is, has created. This magnificent, beautiful energy and all the beauty that we have on this earth. And so many of us humans at this part of our world and our time of life are in the house, are in the office, are indoors all day, sitting, being not active, eating the wrong foods, filling our minds and our bodies with things that aren't beneficial or nutritious for us. And I'm talking about like the news and social media and scare tactic things, religion, all the things that put caps on you and control and like tell you what to do, how to do it, what to think, what to say. This is how you have to do things. Question everything. If it doesn't feel right for you, it's not. Listen to your gut. When you start to listen to your gut and your intuition that's probably been screaming at you for years, that's going to help to bring back joy and peace. Trust yourself. Learn to trust that inner voice, because that inner voice is the only thing in this world, on this earth, that truly knows what you need and what your soul needs and what you came to this earth to do. That's going to bring you some joy. That's going to lift some weight off your shoulders. Find movement, get a little bit of exercise, whatever it might be. What do you like to do? Walk, run, lift weights, dance. Dancing is a beautiful form, and I say this on all my videos. Dancing and music is so healing and so dynamic. And the tempo of the music and the hertz and all the beautiful things and the scientific parts of music are so healing. And it's like a space where it doesn't matter where you live in the country, what language you speak, what color your skin is, you feel music. Music resonates with your soul. Music is connection. And when you can connect with yourself and listen to you, your joy comes. I say this with love. It is so true. But you have to allow it, and you have to make the choice to do that. I started yoga, and yoga brought me to an inward state. And that inward journey and healing and understanding to not judge yourself. Leave your ego out at the door. Don't judge you. Every minute of every day is different. And one day you might be really strong and feeling good and like, yeah, I got the world by the balls. Like, this is great. Everything is working out for me. I'm happy, I'm content, I feel joyful again. But then that next day you might wake up and be like, oh my God, like what happened? I feel so blah, and I don't have the strength, and how am I ever gonna make it? And I'm such a loser, and I eat too many things, and I always make the wrong choices, and I fell off my wagon of not eating sugar or stopping to drink coffee. That's okay. Remind yourself this, and if you don't know it, I'm happy to say it to you. Everything happens the way that it's supposed to happen and when it is supposed to happen. And if you can learn to just allow it without control or rigid expectations and resistance, and you just flow, you're gonna find your joy. Because when you can release the grasp of life and what is supposed to happen, and I'm gonna do this by the time I'm this age, and this person has more than me, and this person has a bigger house, and I'm younger than them, so I should be there. Let all that go. Just release it out of your head, because all that heavy, toxic comparison and expectation is stealing your joy. It's little things that we don't even think about that are buried down in our subconscious that we can release, that will bring your joy back. Love you. Learn to love you. Learn to love you and release any fear that you have in your life. Release any shame and guilt that you may have. Maybe you made a mistake in the past. Maybe you've said things that have hurt people. Maybe you've made wrong choices. That's okay. You are perfectly imperfect. And again, and I say this with love, that's the way it was supposed to be. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen and the way it's supposed to happen. And if it didn't happen, how would you have learned? How would you have known? Oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that or said that. But each thing that happens in our life, and we might be holding on to it like, oh man, like I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I made the biggest mistake of my life. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But if you did something that might have hurt somebody else or that wasn't the right choice for you, learn from that. And be mindful and keep moving forward, keep growing. Because when you stay stuck and stagnant and you're in that downward spiral of I'm a victim and nothing good happens to me and I'm just gonna be a loser my whole life and nothing is gonna take place. Well, remember, your words are magic wands and your mindset has everything to do with what's going on in your world. And when you can heal your inner world and release your fear, your guilt, your shame, your judgment upon yourself, all the shit that might have taken place in your childhood and growing up, release it. Let it go. Find yourself in a space of understanding, you know, I didn't have control of a lot of that stuff. Maybe all of it, maybe some of it. Maybe some of it you did, but that's okay. That's what was supposed to happen. And that space got you to where you are now. And that was me. I felt so horrible, so below dirt level 4 years ago, and no joy, just guilt and shame and just conviction of myself of like, God, you really screwed up. And you know, you took vows, and if you even think about getting a divorce, you're going to go to hell because that's what the church has taught you. So that weighed so heavy on me for so many years. So I just kept being like, okay, yeah, that's okay. You can talk to me like that, and I'll let everything happen to me and I'll take the blame for everything. Now, being in a victim state at that point in my life and being an empath that I didn't know about that at the time. But now I have learned how to have boundaries and how to fill my cup. And when you can fill your cup, and I'm talking through self-love, self-care, it is not selfish, it is essential. I didn't allow myself to do that for the first 54 years of my life, and it showed up. It bit me in the butt bad. Allow yourself time to be alone, to do things that nourish you and nurture you and that bring you joy and contentment. Because if you don't have joy and contentment inside you, there's no possible way that that is oozing out to your family, your kids, your husband, whoever. And you might think, like I did for the first 54 years, that you're hiding it and you just have a smile on your face and your outward appearance is like, yeah, it's great. I got everything together. My family's beautiful. We're so perfect and I'm so fulfilled inside. And then inside here in your house, like, oh my God, I hate myself. I don't love my husband. I want a divorce. Like, I'm miserable, and I know my kids can feel the energy, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't live like this for the rest of my life. Now, I say that with love, and that's hard. And if you're in that space right now, I was there 4+ years ago. There's possibility, there's hope. You can make the choice to heal yourself. Focus on you. Get yourself what you need to become loving towards yourself. Because when you don't love yourself and you hold on to fear, guilt, shame, it's an anchor. And there's no possible way that you can rise to joy and peace and bliss. And I was there 4 years ago. And now I went through my darkness. I went through my hard times. I went through my deep healing. And now I am on the other end of light. And if I can go back and change anything, I would honestly say I wouldn't, because all the hard things that I endured throughout my life, which was mental abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, like you name it, it happened to me. Just like all the other people in the world, just a dysregulated household, because we're just human and we're learning lessons on this earth. But I want to help you guys, and that's why I'm putting my stories out here on YouTube. I will make more videos about this, and I do thank you guys for being here. If you're in this space, I hear you, I feel you. There's hope. Go back and watch some of my other videos. I have a lot of videos. I'm a middle-aged woman that has survived the darkest, most inopportune experiences in my life. But everybody else is out there too. And when you share your story and the darkness that you went through, you're gonna possibly plant seeds for other people that might be in the space that you were. And that's why I'm here doing these videos. So I do say this with love. Thank you for being here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Namaste.